First overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars take Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. No surprise here. Urban Meyer himself has gone on record saying that's who they're targeting. With 3 straight seasons over 90.0 grading in the PFF grading system, he's the best quarterback prospect we've scouted. At number 2, the New York Jets take BYU quarterback Zach Wilson. Had an electric junior campaign this last year, the highest graded quarterback in college football. The big time throws he made down the football field, his highlight reel, is more special this past season than any other quarterback in the draft. At number 3 overall, after that blockbuster trade, the San Francisco 49ers, we have them taking Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields. Bunch of smoke around who they're going to pick, but Fields, the arm talent, the speed, what he can do as a runner, it is too special to pass up. In that Kyle Shanahan offense, he could be a weapon. At number 4, the Atlanta Falcons have them trading out for the New England Patriots to come all the way up and grab Trey Lance, North Dakota State quarterback. Only 1 game this past year, but back in 2019, didn't throw a single pick, had only 4 turnover-worthy plays all year, protects the ball really well, and he's probably the best rushing threat at the quarterback position in this draft class, and he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. The tools he brings to the table are special. At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals stay put. No, they don't grab Penei Sewell. They grab tight end Kyle Pitts from Florida, the best tight end prospect we've scouted here in our 7 years of doing this at PFF, the highest grade this past season of any tight end we've graded at the college level. Could be a wide receiver, could be a tight end, splits that difference, a truly rare prospect. At number 6, the Miami Dolphins, after moving back up, go LSU wide receiver Jamar Chase, the number 1 receiver on PFF's draft board. What he did in 2019 as a sophomore was just different. 10 more deep receptions that year than anyone else in this draft class. Obviously opted out in 2020, but we have no question marks about how he translates to the NFL field. At number 7, the Detroit Lions finally grab Penei Sewell, the Oregon offensive tackle, the top-ranked skill position player on the PFF draft board. He had the highest grade we've ever given to an offensive tackle back in 2019 as a true sophomore. Only 19 years old that year. Now he's going to be 20 years old coming out, a truly special prospect for a player that age. At number 8 overall, the Carolina Panthers, no, they don't get to trade up to go grab their guy. They stand pat, obviously need a quarterback. They get Mac Jones from Alabama, the 2nd highest graded quarterback in college football this past year. Racked up yardage, the way he runs that Alabama offense, so efficient. Think he can do that at the NFL level as well. At number 9, the Denver Broncos, no, they don't get a quarterback to compete with Drew Lock. They grab a linebacker, MICAH Parsons from Penn State. Saw him go 4.3 something in the 40 at his pro day, a truly freak athlete. And back in 2019, the last year we saw from him, he had the 2nd highest run defense grade at the linebacker position in the PFF era. At number 10, the Dallas Cowboys obviously need a quarterback. They get the top cornerback on the PFF draft board as it stands right now, Patrick Surtain from Alabama. 3 straight years of starting at Alabama, and this past year in 2020 was the highest graded cornerback in college football. At number 11, the New York Giants added another wide receiver after getting Kenny Golladay in free agency. Now they get Devonta Smith here. Obviously won the Heisman this past season, was the highest receiving grade in PFF history at the wide receiver position. Utterly dominant campaign. Yes, he's undersized. I don't think it's really going to matter at the NFL level with the way he plays the game of football. Add another weapon for Daniel Jones. At number 12, the Philadelphia Eagles, after trading back and getting that other 1st-round pick, they go cornerback. South Carolina's Jaycee Horn, the number 2 cornerback on the PFF draft board. He was lights out this past season. Didn't even allow 10 catches all season long. Dominated some better wide receivers there in the SEC. Arguably the best press man cornerback in this draft class. At number 13, the Los Angeles Chargers continue to completely remake that offensive line that was the 32nd ranked offensive line by PFF in 2020. They grabbed Northwestern's RASHAWN Slater. Maybe he's a tackle, maybe he's a guard. In Los Angeles, he probably plays tackle. Doesn't have great arm length, but the man can move and pass protect at a high level. Held up against Chase Young back in 2019 better than any other offensive tackle did that season, and only allowed 5 pressures all year long. At 14, the Minnesota Vikings grabbed the 1st edge defender on the PFF draft board and the 1st edge defender in this draft class, Michigan's KWITY PAYE, a true freak of nature athletically and what he can do from an explosiveness and change of direction perspective. Got better every single year by leaps and bounds in his Michigan career. Maybe he's not a finished product by any means, but the man has the tools to get there, and Minnesota Vikings love their athletic edge defenders. Up next at number 15, after moving all the way down from number 4 overall, the Atlanta Falcons still get a game-changing type piece for that offense in Jalen Waddle from Alabama. Game-breaking speed, probably the closest thing in this draft class to a Tyreek Hill. No, there's not going to be another Tyreek Hill, but Jalen Waddle has that similar caliber of athleticism, adding to a dangerous receiving core there in Atlanta. At number 16, the Arizona Cardinals go Miami edge defender Jalen Phillips. At his pro day, he put on a show. Sub 4.6 40, ridiculously good vertical, a terrific all-around athlete, former 5-star recruit, finally put it all together here this past season at Miami after transferring from UCLA. Down the stretch, he was unblockable for the Hurricanes. At number 17, the Las Vegas Raiders, after having that exodus along their offensive line over the course of the offseason, grabbed Virginia Tech offensive tackle Christian DARRISAW, the 3rd-ranked tackle on PFF's draft board, was the highest-graded tackle in the Power 5 this past season, dominated an ACC slate that had some sneaky good edge defenders. He shut all of them down this past season. At number 18, the Miami Dolphins, yet another first-round pick here. They go edge defender Jason OWEH. Had one of the single best pro days I've ever seen from any position. What he did, ran under 4.4 in the 40 at over 250 pounds. A rare special athlete for the position. Only started playing football in 2016, and we've seen him improve every single year of his career there at Penn State. I think he could be a difference maker in time for the Dolphins. At number 19, the Washington football team, not players in this quarterback class after signing Ryan Fitzpatrick, so now they get him some protection. Oklahoma State's TEVEN Jenkins, one of the highest graded run blockers in the country this past season, a man amongst boys at the collegiate level. Slots in there likely at left tackle after playing right tackle for Oklahoma State. For the football team, they need all the help they can get along that offensive line, though. At number 20, the Chicago Bears add Georgia edge defender AZEEZ OJULARI, pass rushing weapon to go across from Khalil Mack. He looks like the single most NFL-ready edge defender in this draft class in terms of what he can do from a pass rush perspective already. Earned a 91.7 pass rusher grade this past season, uses his hands exceptionally well. Might be a 3rd down sub-package guy early on in his career, but we think he has 3-down potential. At 21, the Indianapolis Colts get a big-bodied receiving weapon to pair with quarterback Carson Wentz. Yes, they re-signed T.Y. Hilton on a 1-year deal, but they need a long-term option there along with Michael Pittman, and they get Rashad Bateman, a talented all-around route runner who back in 2019 led the entire FBS in terms of yards per route from the outside. The man wins one-on-one consistently at 6'2", 210 pounds. At number 22, the Tennessee Titans get their replacement for Corey Davis, and Ole Miss's Elijah Moore had the 2nd most receiving yards in the country this past season. And while he played slot at Ole Miss, when you saw him go up against press coverage like South Carolina's J.C. Horn, who came off the board earlier in this draft, he went one-on-one and beat guys at the line of scrimmage consistently. A true high-level athlete. Went sub 4.4 his pro day, had a ridiculously good 3-cone. We think he can be an all-around receiving threat despite his size at the next level. At number 23, the New York Jets obviously need cornerback help. They get Northwestern's Greg Newsome. Had a monster breakout campaign this past year as a junior for the Wildcats. Went one-on-one against all those wide receivers in the Big Ten, and no one got the best of him. Allowed only a dozen catches all season long, and was one of the best cornerbacks in all of college football. Pittsburgh Steelers, picking at number 24, go edge defender from Miami, Gregory Rousseau. Had 16 sacks as a redshirt freshman back in 2019, then opted out. A freakishly long, freakishly tall edge defender with some inside-outside versatility. Could be just another weapon to add to that dominant defensive line. At 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars, with the pick they got from the Los Angeles Rams, go TREVON MOEHRIG, the TCU safety, one of the best all-around safeties in this draft class. The need is obvious there for Jacksonville, even after signing JENKINS this offseason. They need another safety there. MOEHRIG played a lot of too high and made a ton of plays on the football, led actually college football in pass breakups at the safety position each of the past 2 seasons, has the length, size, and athleticism the position commands as well. At 26, the Cleveland Browns draft the first defensive tackle in this draft class, Alabama's Christian Barmore, a versatile all-around defensive tackle who utterly dominated in the playoffs against Ohio State and Notre Dame, put on some of the best tape we saw from a defensive tackle prospect all year long, and those are 2 really talented interior offensive lines he was dominating. He has the physical tools and the on-field production now to succeed at the next level. At number 27, the Baltimore Ravens get that big catch radius guy over the middle of the field for Lamar Jackson in Terrace Marshall from LSU. Not even 21 years old yet. Marshall excelled this year when he was the top dog with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson gone. He was their leading receiver in only a handful of games before opting out this past year. Playing from the slot, playing that Justin Jefferson role, you see him at 6'3", can haul in anything off target, and is a talented route runner over the middle of the field. The New Orleans Saints grab Virginia Tech cornerback Caleb Farley. A little fall here for Farley after he had back surgery only a couple weeks ago. That's his second back issue over his career. That might scare some teams off, but the New Orleans Saints couldn't take advantage of that value. He was the #1 cornerback on PFF's draft board before those injury issues popped out. Legit makeup speed, maybe the fastest cornerback down the field in this draft class. Not a lot of guys beat him deep on his tape, and when they did, he caught up to him and he would break up that pass. At 29, the Green Bay Packers get linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. They were throwing out a hodgepodge of rookies last year at the position. None of them coveted or drafted very highly. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah can solve their coverage issues at that position. Exceptional closing in space, some of the best burst at the position in the draft class. Is that hybrid coverage player every team is looking for nowadays. At number 30, the Buffalo Bills go North Dakota State offensive tackle Dillon Radunz. Probably got to play guard for them early on, but it's smart to go at the tackle position or to have a guy who can have that sort of versatility of inside and outside. Radunz, one of the most explosive offensive tackles in this draft class. Yes, he played low-level football, but when he went to the Senior Bowl, was the highest grade offensive tackle in the one-on-ones, highest grade throughout the week of practice, and the highest grade in the game. At number 31, the Kansas City Chiefs go Texas offensive tackle Samuel Cosmi, one of the most battle-tested tackles in this draft class. Over 1,500 pass blocking snaps over the last 3 seasons. Been exceptionally well, played exceptionally well on those pass blocking snaps, and is a true freak athlete. You saw that when he scored a touchdown against West Virginia a couple years ago on a throwback screen. At 32, it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Super Bowl champs. They go offensive tackle, looking towards the future here a little bit, in Walker Little from Stanford, taking advantage of the value of this tackle class. He hasn't played in 2 years. Only 1 game back in 2019 against Northwestern, got hurt, then opted out this past season. But people were talking about him as a better prospect than even Tristan Wirfs, the guy who was the standout tackle for the Tampa Bay Bucs heading into that 2019 season. We're banking on that development going forward. Could be a top 10 player in this class if he had just stayed healthy.